Hey, Victoria, thank you so much for taking out time to be on this graduation call. I'm super excited to talk about your journey and for others to be inspired through your journey. So let's go ahead and start this conversation with talking about where you were at before we started working together. So, what were some of the things that you had tried in the past?
I've tried a lot. I've tried keto diets. I've tried, a lot of other weight loss plans that just never really seems to work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as it is, my weight fluctuates anyways. It can never like stay in a happy medium range. So for me, it's been hard to do dieting or do exercising and all that stuff.
So, I
But
heard you mention the keto diet, and I think you had told me also you had done Beachbody, I believe it was.
yeah.
So what other
hmm
things have you tried that just didn't work for you?
I've tried It Works products,
Mm-hmm, I've heard of that
all
one.
the plant-based stuff.
Mhm.
It didn't really do anything. um it gave me more energy, but it didn't like really give me results that I was actually looking for as far as like weight loss or anything like that.
Mhm.
um
So where was your mindset at before we started working together?
Mine was all over the place. Like it was going between work and coming home and being the full-time mom of 3 kids, and
Yeah.
you know making sure that my relationship was where it needed to be and everything like that, and going through a lot of like family stuff, personal stuff. It was just all over the place, and it just wasn't set where it needed to be.
I see. So it sounds like you felt very scattered and
Oh
thin
yeah.
and just kind of all over the place.
hmm
Okay. So what would you say was like the number one thing that you were struggling with?
I think a lot of it was my weight.
Yeah, but in terms of like trying to solve your weight issue, like, do you think it was more in regards to maybe not understanding nutrition, not knowing what to do with your training, your mindset? Like, if you could tie it to one thing, time management, what was that one thing that you're like, oh, I just can't figure this out?
I think a lot of it was like learning nutrition, knowing how much to put into your body on a daily basis and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nutrition is definitely one of the most important key elements when it comes to losing weight and being able to keep it off. And I know that there's just so much confusion out there. It's really unfortunate. So let's talk about your goals, Victoria. So what exactly, is it that you're wanting to accomplish with this fitness journey?
A lot of it was still knowing how to do the nutrition, as far as
Mhm.
keeping it plugged in, so I had an idea of how much of calories or protein I was taking in, or if it was too little, and what else to do to like, kind of oomph it up a little bit, so I had more of whatever like calories and protein in my body to
Mhm.
help with losing the weight that I wanted. um that's pretty much it, to just still knowing on and understanding on how much to take in at a time and not going over.
Sorry, I was just flipping the screen here, so it looks a little bit better. I forgot to do this earlier, but not a big deal. But yeah, nutrition really is a key part to your fitness journey. So I want to know though, Victoria, I think you said your goal was to lose anywhere from like 25 to 150 pounds. So you're looking at the long haul, full on lifestyle shift. So why is it that you want this in your life? This huge
I've
lifestyle change.
I've felt that I needed the change for
Mm-hmm.
myself, you know because with everything that I'm struggling with outside,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really give myself the time to have
Mm,
me time and be able
yes.
to do something for myself instead of not having to worry about attending to children, or whatever else, taking that little bit of time to do me, to make myself feel better and put myself in a better mindset than having to constantly worry and everything.
Yeah, most definitely. It's so important to put ourselves first. We can always tend to put ourselves on the back burner when we just run low. And that's not the best way to show up and to be able to be your best self. You have to work through those things. So I'm so grateful that you decided to take this journey and work on yourself. So, obviously doing this though is a big commitment. And not only mentally, physically, emotionally, but also in terms of finances. So I want to know, did you have any doubts or concerns with investing in yourself when it came to this fitness journey?
No, I mean, I felt like I knew what I was going for and everything like that. I didn't really have an issue with it. It pretty much paid itself off
Mm-hmm.
for what I could see anyways.
Mm-hmm. So why did you feel so confident in your decision to join my program?
Because I felt like I needed that step up, that change, that motivation, that I could never get myself individually to do on my own. So just to have that other person on the other side of me saying, hey, let's do this, let's get pumped up, let's go for it, let's do you, make yourself feel better.
Definitely, accountability is so important in terms of reaching our fitness goals. And I'm so glad that I could be that person for you. Do you feel like you got, enough accountability with me, even though our program is online?
Yeah, I mean, I always made sure that if there was something up, I always made sure to stay in contact with you, and you've been pretty flexible with me with whatever I had going on and vice versa. I mean, I pretty much I pretty much got a lot of support, knowing that I had another person that was always there if I was stuck on something or wasn't sure about whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So what was your experience in terms of working with me as a coach?
It was definitely different. I mean, this is the first time I've actually, had somebody that wanted to, make others' lives, for themselves better and whatnot, to actually, want to do it. I mean, I've never, of all the other fitness coaches I've had, it would take forever to get a reply back from them for a
Really?
question. If I had a question about a product, if I had a question about, a fitness question, I honestly, I probably wouldn't have gotten a reply within like 2 days from after I
Wow.
messaged the question. But with you, you were, you're usually spot on. You're usually, quick, unless something comes up, it'll be a little later, but it's still in that day
Mm-hmm.
that I messaged. So like, it was nice knowing that, I could stay in contact and communicate with someone who is trying to make someone else, feel better for themselves and to
Mm-hmm.
do.
I'm so glad to hear that. I really do put you guys first, and I'm like on here every day and, always try to check up on you guys because I know how important that really is. Now, in terms of like, my personality and like me holding you accountable and stuff like that, like, do you feel um like I did that to a good degree, or did you ever feel like it was too overbearing, or like, my actual like coaching style and how like I held you accountable? Like, how did you feel about that?
Honestly, I couldn't have asked for anyone better. I
Oh,
mean, it's pretty much for how you coach, for your coaching style. It's not to overbear or overwhelm your client. It's more of, you're just giving them that extra motivation, that extra little push that they need. If they feel like they're falling back or stuck, you kind of just, it's kind of like your way of just giving that little nudge, being like, hey, keep going. You got to do this.
yeah, that makes me so happy to hear. Thank you for that. That was a very high compliment. What were some of the actions that you were taking weekly, Victoria?
As far as
in terms of in the coaching program? So your training, your nutrition, your mindset and modules, things that you were learning.
that I took control of.
I was just asking, you know, like what does a normal week look like for you? Like what were some of the tasks and things that you had to do?
On a daily basis?
Yeah, just throughout the week on a day-to-day basis.
Um, well, let's see. Well, as far as what fitness, I did a lot of the workouts. Some of them were kind of tough, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
I kind of had to modify some of them a little bit just
Mhm.
to make it a little easier on me, so I didn't,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
split up on everything.
definitely something to let me know. You know, whenever I do create a new program for you, that first week, you know, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. I don't know if it's too tough for you or if it's a great gradual, you know, switch. So during that first week, if there ever is something that's too tough or you're not able to do, definitely let me know so we can schedule a coach's corner call and then I can dive in and really figure out, okay, um, you know, what to substitute it with.
Okay.
So what were some of the things that you learned in my program?
Well, I definitely learned some exercises that I never heard of before. Those were definitely new and different.
Like what? What were some exercises that you
One
remember?
of them was like the Superman pose, and I've never heard of a Superman pose before. Um,
Working that lower back.
another one,
Mhm.
yeah, another one was I think it was called the bear walk or the bear claw or something like that.
That's a good warm up. Warm up, cool down.
Another one was the what was like a jumping jack plank or something like that, where just
Oh yeah, that's good on the abs. That was killer, probably.
yeah. I had all I could do. I had to like literally sometimes if I couldn't do the elbow part, I
Yeah.
had to like put my hands out like I was doing an actual plank and then do, the jumping jack style just to
hmm
so I didn't feel
Modify it
like I
a
was
little
gonna
bit.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Is there anything else other than the workouts that you learned?
I learned I've learned a lot as far as like, meditating. Never done it before. Um Now that I know how to like calm my mind, especially with the incense burner that I showed you on
hmm
Facebook.
hmm
Um, that actually helps, like especially when you have it like circulating and you're just sitting there relaxed, and then you when you take that first deep breath, you're actually getting that sense of the incense, so it's like calming you at the same time, so you
Definitely.
feel more relaxed, you feel like your mind is more what's the word, calm, yeah.
Here.
Yeah, so you're able to just think and just feel relaxed. Like I've never done it, so like the second time I did it, I was like, this really isn't half bad. Like it
Yeah,
definitely
it's
helps.
very nice. Yeah. And you'll definitely start to notice the effects throughout your day-to-day life, especially as you stay consistent with this. So I'm so glad that you decided to join the monthly meditation challenge. It's literally going to change your life. It's changed mine, that's for sure. Okay, so I want to know, Victoria, what was your favorite thing in the program?
I have to say probably the meditation, honestly.
Mhm.
That has to be my favorite because like I've never felt so relaxed
Wow.
ever. It felt like a lot of weight just came off my shoulders when I was just sitting there and
Wow.
just thinking.
That's
It was
amazing.
great.
So how have you changed mentally, Victoria?
I'm a lot like I've got clear a, a clearer vision on everything, as far as my nutrition, as far as you know and work, I'm less stressed about that. I'm less stressed being the 24-hour mom, of three, um and just individual as me as an individual, it's changed. Like I feel a lot better. I feel calmer, less stressed, more clear-headed than ever.
Do you think a lot of the other energy work that we've done, like at the beginning of those course modules where you cleared out everything and all of that, has helped with that too?
Oh yeah, like when I was packing and everything, I can't tell you how much stuff I got rid of and what I saw I had left. It was just, to me, it felt overwhelming at first, but then when I saw the end result, I took that breath and I felt like a lot of the weight just lifted off my shoulders. It's amazing on how it works when you put your mind to it.
That's beautiful. That's amazing, Victoria. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that I could, give you these tools so you could experience that level of freedom and like just being stress-free. All righty. You ready to go over the exciting stuff?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna go over your progress. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with everyone. That way we can go ahead and take a look at Victoria's chart, and we're just gonna see how her weight has changed through the program. All right. So when me and Victoria started, she was a little over 225 pounds. She's peaked her most at 226. So we'll start your starting weight at 226 since that was your highest. And your lowest that you weighed in today is 211. So let me figure out real quick the difference there. So 226.2 minus 211.8. So in total, on the last, it's only been 11 weeks because you're not even quite done with your 12th week. So in 11 weeks, you've lost 14.4 pounds. That's a lot, Victoria. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little over a pound per week. And what's so cool is you were able to lose this weight too while taking, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks off of like not even training at all, right? Because you got sick in the middle. And it's not like you've been perfect with your nutrition, but you've been consistent. And that's all it takes is consistency. And that's how you're going to get results. So it's amazing that you've been able to lose this much in this short of time period. Definitely inspirational. And I know that you'll just continue to lose this much weight, if not even more, because as you continue your journey, you're going to get better at the nutrition part. And that's what's really going to dial in your results. So I'm definitely super excited for you. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Still have a few more things that I'd like to go over with you real quick. Okay. Yeah, so how do you feel about your results, Victoria?
I honestly couldn't even be more happier. Like on it, I don't even know like how to really explain it. It's huge, especially when I've struggled so much, especially most of my entire life with my weight, with it fluctuating all the time and not staying consistent and everything like that, and all the other programs I've been through. I haven't seen it this low before ever.
That's awesome. And the cool part is it's just going to keep on going down. So I'm so excited for you. That's amazing, Victoria. Okay, so we went over how you've changed mentally. We kind of just went over your results in terms of how you've changed physically. How have you seen this impacting your day-to-day life? Has anybody like mentioned anything to you like, oh, you look great, Victoria? Or like, have you noticed that you feel different when you go out in public? Do you act different? Are you, how are you different now? How is your life different?
Well, I haven't gotten any compliments yet, but I can say that I do feel different. I feel like I have more energy. I feel like, I feel like a different person. Like if I'm going to the grocery store, I just, something about it just makes me feel more confident to actually be somewhere out in public instead of just being like, I really don't want to go because, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel confident and everything. So, but I definitely have more energy. I'm way more confident of going to places and not feeling like, that I'm being stared down or, you know, mentally judged or anything like that. Like it's definitely changed a lot.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that now you feel a lot more confident to even just doing your day-to-day activities.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned it changing your energy levels. So have you noticed you have more energy too to play with your kids?
Oh yeah. We've been doing actually today where it's been a little cooler since the last couple of days have been like scorching hot. Um, I was actually outside with my daughter and my niece,
Mm.
and we were outside playing. I was, pushing my daughter on her bike and everything like that, and running around and everything, and it was nice. We all had fun being able to have that time together.
I'm so happy for you. It really sounds like this program was life-changing for you.
It definitely was for sure, especially where this is like the first one that's I've seen anything really, come out of it,
That's great.
like the others.
Well, I'm so grateful that, despite your past experiences of not getting results, that you still had hope and that you put in the work and you got the results. So I am seriously so proud of you, Victoria, and I've loved working with you as a client. I just want to say congrats and continue to keep crushing it.
Oh yes, for sure.